And welcome to a very special Inland Sports TV show live on the road in San Luis Obispo as we are all getting set for UC Riverside going up against Cal Poly on Wednesday night. It's Tuesday night, Geoff, so we came up a night early. We just stuffed ourselves with some great Italian food, some ice cream after a 4-hour bus ride up here as UCR is going for their first road win of the season. Yeah, it's their first road. Hopefully they can get this victory here. They're 0-10 on the road this season. It'd be nice to get one in conference against a very, very beatable Cal Poly San Luis Obispo. And look on the screen behind us. We got Dikembe Martin. Oh, we just had him for a second. We did have Dikembe Martin. The pride of third and Chicago as we're live in our hotel room right now. We are always live somewhere. Last time I think we were live in the hotel room, we were in Colorado. And I'm no longer laying in the bed wearing just my gym shorts and a T-shirt. I am ready. I am professionally dressed here as we getting ready to go here at Cal Poly. Now, normally, you know, we're in the Teen Vision TV 16 studio on a Tuesday at 3 o'clock, but because we were en route to San Luis Obispo, we had to mix things up just a little bit this time around. So that's why we're doing it live from the hotel room here in San Luis Obispo. So we're getting set for UC Riverside taking on Cal Poly tomorrow night in Big West Conference action, which, of course, you can always listen to the game live at GoHighlanders.com as UCR is going for back-to-back wins in Big West Conference play, coming off that huge win against Hawaii, Geoff, over the weekend. Yeah, they played great. In fact, those freshmen were just phenomenal. You know, you watch the Highlanders and you don't realize what they actually have on the floor. You look at them and you go, these guys are playing older than they are, but he's starting 3 freshmen. Zach Watson, Dragon Elkaz, and Callum McRae, and they have all been very, very good. They've gotten progressively better as the season's gone on. In fact, Dragon Elkaz tied a school record with 7 3-pointers in the Division I era for the Highlanders, and we're starting to see the emergence of Callum McRae. Callum is, you know, he came out a little passive to start the season, kind of getting used to that Division I basketball. You know, when you start playing at a level that's higher than what you're used to, the game is so fast. But it just seems like it's slowed down for him. He's getting used to it. He's playing a power inside game, and it's really evident and shown the last 2 Big West Conference games. Well, we are fired up, going for back-to-back wins in Big West Conference plays. The Highlanders and Mustangs will get together tomorrow night up here in San Luis Obispo. So, again, we're live in our hotel room here in San Luis Obispo. Geoff always takes the bed farthest from the door. I always get the bed closest to the door. I think it's because I'm more nimble in case someone broke in. Well, I was just going to say, in case somebody ever does break into the hotel room, they'll kill you first. I can jump right out the window, and I'm right next to the air conditioner. Yeah, so I have to defend you. No, they'll take care of you. You're the little guy. They'll fight you first, and then I can just run out of here. You always take the bed furthest from the door. Is that really the reason why? Yeah, because I'm always worried somebody's going to come in and try to attack me. Always. There's always someone else. I like to be right next to the air conditioner. I like that thing turned down to like 50. I want it sub-zero in this. You do. I want it to be like a refrigerator, a meat locker. Like a meat lock. You want to hang slabs of just raw meat in here. And then I get all cozy underneath my covers, and it's a wonderful, wonderful night. All right, we're also talking high school basketball. Usually, again, we do the Inland Sports TV show live at 3 p.m., but because of the travel, we're doing it here, a late-night edition. And we were planning to talk about already, Geoff, the big Riverside Poly versus the Rancho Verde basketball game. Usually it's a preview, right? We preview the big game. Now we can tell you the after the fact, the post game, that Rancho Verde, they hammered Riverside Poly tonight by a score of 60-36. You were texting with Poly head coach Yancey Dodson because we were trying to figure out the final score as we were sitting there breaking bread with the Highlanders. And he said, I don't know the score. It was really bad. Listen, as a former coach, you know it's a bad game when you can't even recall the score, right? At some point, you just like, it doesn't matter. It's over. That was about 99% of the games I coached, Pep. Like, come on, let's be honest here. You would call me after games, and I would just go, I don't know. They won by a lot. Yeah. They won big time. Yeah, the other exactly. Team. But no, that's a big surprise. I think, you know, Riverside Poly, went to the championship last year. They've got some great pieces, but, man, I'll tell you what, that league is so tough. Rancho Verde, Riverside Poly, Riverside Notre Dame, those teams are phenomenal, and I wouldn't be surprised if any of those 3 teams could win a CIF championship. And really now what this sets up is the fact that Rancho Verde Notre Dame will play on the final night of the regular season. I want to say it's in Moreno Valley. I want to say it's Rancho Verde's hosting it. So it should be, if everyone kind of wins out like they should, it should be either Rancho Verde winning the outright Ivy League title, or Notre Dame could win a share of it when they go on the road.
You recall, though, Riverside Poly darn near beat Notre Dame at Notre Dame, losing by 1 point. So a lot could happen. I mean, Rancho Verde, who is right now the cream of the crop, they could slip up. There's just so many good teams in that division, that league. But I can recall back, and I'm going to go back to 1983, I believe, or 82, when Reggie Miller was part of the Riverside Poly team that won the CIF championship. They finished third in their league, and they won the CIF championship. They were wedged between John W. North and Norte Vista. Norte Vista got second, and both teams won CIF championships, winning third place back-to-back years.
Well, the other night we had a chance to catch up with Brandon Baker, the head coach for the Rancho Verde Mustangs, as well as his two star players who are both D1 guys. Torrey San Antonio, I believe, is going to Fullerton, right, for basketball.
For John Smith.
Yeah, and Jackson Turner, the big football star, who's also a basketball star, but he's going to Arizona to play football. So we caught up to all those guys to not only talk about Rancho Verde's season so far, because right now they're on the CIF Southern Section Open Division watch list, which is the Open Division's the best of the best. So Rancho Verde's on the watch list right now. So one of the best teams in Southern California. They're en route to winning the Ivy League. They've already beaten a bunch of good teams already. So here's head coach Brandon Baker and some of his star players, Jackson Turner and Torrey San Antonio.
Inland Sports.
Yeah, I mean, going into this season when I found out Notre Dame was in our league and we had to face Poly again in our league, and they realigned it. I didn't imagine we'd be 8-0, coming in. I'm real proud of my guys for stepping up big and all of our league games. I think our preseason schedule helped. We played, our 4 losses are against teams that are ranked higher than us. So we played in big games like that. We played against teams that are better than us.
We're trying to win the state championship, so it's like this will set us up better for state. We'll like to win open, but that's going to be tough. But we'll still try our hardest. We'll still work and practice every day. So
I think we were a little bit more talented last year, but we didn't have the team chemistry as we did. We didn't really play defense last year. This year we have a little more defense. We better communication than last year. We fell short last year, but this year I don't see us falling short this year.
Inland Sports.
All right, so that was the Rancho Verde Mustangs breaking down their season so far. And again, big win tonight against Riverside Poly. That final score was 60-36, so a blowout win for the Mustangs. Geoff, before we get to the other kind of the big game this week, let's get to our Inland Sports top 10 rankings. And there was no change going into this week because really all of the top teams held serve. They all did what they were supposed to do, and that was get big wins, including, I want to mention this, Redlands East Valley beat Cajon head-to-head, and that's big because now Redlands East Valley has won 17 straight games, which ties a school record. So they're going to try to beat the school mark with their next win. So Redlands East Valley in our top 10 and still going strong. 17 straight wins now for the Wildcats. And then, Geoff, talk about some of the top teams. We've got Rancho Christian and Centennial on top, and no one's going to really dethrone them unless they slip up, which they're not going to.
No, in fact, I assume that both of those teams will be in the open division. And I do believe Rancho Verde will be part of that open division as well, because I don't see them slipping up in conference. I think all three will be in the open division, which is good, but also bad because these guys, any of these teams could win in their respective divisions, but they're going to be playing against the big boys. They're going to play against the Mater Deis of the world. What is the other one that's in L.A. that everybody is playing for?
Oh, Sierra Canyon. Up there, yeah.
Yeah, but, Rancho Christian, they played on ESPN this past week. They were a nationally televised game, and I think they're ranked number 2 by Max Preps, so they're a very, very good team. But Centennial is phenomenal. Notre Dame could beat anybody on any given night. In fact, Notre Dame played Mater Dei to a very close game earlier in the season, And Riverside Poly, we mentioned them earlier. Evan Oliver, I believe, is the transfer that can go out and get 30 for you on any given night. And you've got a great Lamont Butler, who's one of the best point guards on the West Coast, getting recruited by everybody. So very, very good teams. And that just rounds out our list. Hillcrest is running the table right now in the River Valley League. And Great Oak, the big surprise out of the Southwest county over there in the Temecula Valley region. They're phenomenal. They've got a big 6'11" sophomore, I believe, who's really starting to make some waves in that division and across the recruiting landscape.
Yeah, Great Oak has actually played on Patriot. Patriot, if they can.
I wouldn't be surprised. Two best players in the league we're going to hear from and his superstar player, but Gavin Kroll, I've seen him being a Division I player. He's only a junior. He's going to get better. He needs to be in a weight room, but his skill set is so good and his ceiling is so high. He could be one of those guys that could be a sleeper, and I wouldn't be surprised if UC Riverside or California Baptist University jumps on that young player. Very good player.
All right, let's hear from Hillcrest, their head coach Jackson Wood, who's done our show a bunch of times, and their star player Sebastian Mendoza as they get set to take on Patriot. That's tomorrow night, Wednesday night, in a huge game in the River Valley League.
Inland Sports.
This season he's been great. The last few games he's been struggling, so I don't know if it's a matter of fatigue, him trying to do too much. So today he had an off game and he's got to do a better job finding ways to affect the game without scoring. So I think he needs to do a better job hitting the offensive boards, playing defense for us, boxing out on the defensive end. He could do a lot more than score. He's just got to learn how to do that, and that's my job to help him realize and then accomplish that.
My shot's been falling like throughout the whole season, but like lately it's been a little off. So I'll get back in tune, but just like my overall scoring has been doing well. We rely on like if I'm not hitting, like my teammates will hit, and that we've been picking up our rebounding. So especially since we got our transfer Mason, he's been helping himself at the boards, and that's what we struggled in the beginning of the year, but we're managing to pick it up.
Inland Sports.
And welcome back live to our hotel room here. Base path. Yeah, he's all over the place. He says don't sleep on some of these big-time girls basketball games in the IE as well. There could be a three-way tie for first place in the Southwestern League between Vista Murrieta, Great Oak, and Murrieta Mesa. Poly and Paloma Valley, they're playing tonight for first place in their league. Hemet and Beaumont in the Mountain Pass League. And so there's a lot of big games. And Geoff, really it's because we're in the final 2 weeks now of league play. Like we're coming down the home stretch of the regular season.
Yeah, and they're in fact they're going to start playing 3 games a week here in the next week or so. But man, there's so many good teams out of the Inland Empire in our area that it could be possible CIF champions with both men and women. It's pretty fun, and it's just getting better and better every season.
And I think we've also got some Saturday games, league games coming up for some certain leagues. I know Citrus Belt League has some Saturday games coming up too because they're going to squeeze all these games in before the end of next week. In fact, I don't even think it's the end of next week. I think most teams wrap up their season I want to say maybe Wednesday, maybe Thursday the latest.
Yeah, because the brackets will come out the following Sunday. So
we're getting close. All right, we come back here on the Inland Sports TV show. We're going to talk more Centennial High School football because, Geoff, we broke the news right here on this very show about Centennial's non-league schedule. We knew the 4 teams they already had lined up. Now we know the 5th team, and it is a doozy. It's like a national championship game.
Are they playing the Rams? Is this going to be Super Bowl?
No, don't be silly.
No? Okay, well,
It's the
they can
Patriots.
hang. Okay,
It's the Patriots. Okay. So we'll talk Centennial football. Plus, I got a little something for you.
Come on.
It's wrestling.
Stop
from
it.
one of our good friends.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I can't wait to hear it.
A little wrestling for Geoff, too, when we come back on the Inland Sports TV show. The Inland Sports Show is brought to you by Spoiled. Quick, quality oil change. Spoil yourself and your car at Spoiled. Kin Sporting Goods. They have all of your sporting gear needs, Letterman's jackets, and team uniforms. Catalano Motors in Corona off of Temescal Canyon Road. You're going to save thousands of dollars at Catalano Motors. And Boost Performance Training with Coach Ray Bass. Athletes of all levels and all sports are going to Boost Performance Training in Corona.
We just greet them, get them going, and they're done in about 10 minutes or so. We don't push any sales on them. We do the oil change, and I think that's what sets us apart is our customer service. Vacuumed and cleaned your windshield for you as well. Everything's looking pretty good. Come into us one time, believe me, we'll spoil you and you'll be ready to come back the next time.
What's going on, guys? Coach Bass here. To all you football players, as season comes to an end, don't miss the opportunity to get better this offseason. We're rolling out our overtime strength training program. Our overtime program is a 3-6-week cycle that'll be starting on January 7th. We're going to have 3 levels, beginners, intermediate, and advanced for elementary, middle, and high school athletes. And what you can expect with our overtime program is what you can always expect here at Boost. Strength development, speed development, we're going to be doing performance testing and nutritional guidance to help you guys get bigger, stronger, and faster. So overtime's coming back, it's starting January 7th, and it's going to be better than ever. If you'd like to find more information about our overtime program that has served a lot of great athletes in the Corona-Norco area, feel free to contact us directly through Facebook, on Instagram at Boost Training, or Twitter, Boost_Training. Or reach out to us directly here at our gym at 951-532-4904.
And welcome. We're almost going to do the of out of our window. We don't have much of a view. It's just a parking lot.
You know,
so.
driving up here, it was beautiful scenery. There was winery. You know, there was vineyards. I don't want to say wineries. There were vineyards all over the place. But man, it sure is dark out here. There's no light out here. You could, man, it's just dark. Just dark.
They do have electricity. We were at the Mott Gym. We actually already went to Cal Poly.
We went to Cal Poly.
They turned the lights on for us.
It's one of my favorite campuses in all the land. We had some great food. Got to see the co-eds walking around. It said hello to everybody. It was a great time.
It was a great time. The little shoot around. Even I put some shots up.
I got that on tape, and I got you shooting
half-court shot. The half-court shot. The half-court shot.
But your Timmy Duncan fake left, go right.
It was falling.
Yeah, it was pretty nice.
Even sharpshooter Riker Pierce of UCR fame even came up to me and said,
hey,
you can shoot a little bit. I'm like, I can shoot.
Did you call Riker Pierce a sharpshooter?
Yes, I did.
And he's got new hair. He's going to be able to shoot the heck out of it.
Yeah, the highlights are gone, guys. This is a new Riker Pierce.
Yeah, he doesn't look like Lance Bass anymore. He's Riker Pierce.
Let's talk a little Centennial High School football, because on this very show last week when we were back in the TV studio, we broke the news that Centennial had 4 – in fact, there he is right there. Matt Logan's behind us on the TV screen. That Centennial had 4 non-league games already lined up for next season. They were Orange Lutheran, Long Beach Poly, Liberty from Nevada, and Cathedral Catholic from San Diego, which, Geoff, already you take those 4 teams.
That's a national schedule right there. That's a great schedule.
That is like playing 4 CIF Southern Section championship games. Like all 4 of those, like if – I know, obviously Cathedral Catholic's in the San Diego section and Liberty's in Nevada, but like the caliber of those teams, that's like 4 championship games just in your non-league schedule.
And then they added 1.
So they're like, you know what?
Just a little one.
We need one more game to round out our non-league schedule. So Centennial went out, and they, in the very first game of the year, they will play Mater Dei.
Hey, there's the old evil empire we loved. You know what? If you could equate the two, would you say they're the evil empire and the Mater Dei are the rebels? Would you say that?
But see,
But I like the bad guys.
Yes and no. That's the problem. Here's the deal. We look at Mater Dei as the bad guys.
But I like that.
But Centennial is our lovable bad guys, right? Like Darth Vader, we talked about this. Darth Vader might be the only villain that people actually like. They root for him. They like him. He's one of my favorites.
Matt Logan's a lot like Darth Vader. I root for him, but yet he's really a bad person.
So they're going to open up with Mater Dei. And Mater Dei is obviously the CIF Southern Section Open Division champ, the CIF State Open Division champion, that mythical national championship that they like to pass out. So you already had these 4 teams, which were unbelievable, in your non-league schedule, and now you throw Mater Dei into the mix, and that will be your season opener. And it's because of this. Centennial and Mater Dei, they have the same problem. Nobody wants to play them.
No, why would you? You're playing against a Division I NCAA football team when you're playing Centennial or Mater Dei. These 2 teams are the juggernauts. Nobody wants to play them because if you lose one running back, there's 3 other guys that are just as good as anybody in the country, and that's at every position. This is a working force. The best programs in the country all come from here in Southern California, and those are 2 of the top-notch in Mater Dei and Centennial.
I mean, it's quite possible that Centennial and Mater Dei could open the season against each other
and bookend,
and they could finish the season against each other. It could be like a CIF Division I semifinal or a championship game. But it's just crazy that these 2 top programs, 2 of the best in the entire country, they just can't find people to play. So they're going to play each other. They might play each other multiple times in one season, but again, Centennial, they had a 9-game schedule 2 seasons ago because they couldn't schedule anybody. Nobody would play them.
Yeah, in fact, just until a couple weeks ago, they had 2 open on their schedule, and they finally filled it. But, man, it's just an incredible schedule. You talk about these Division I power conferences in college football, how they're playing these patty cakes, the lollipops, these bad teams. But you can't ever say that against Centennial because they're playing a great non-league schedule and their regular season schedule. Norco's supposed to be very good next year.
Yes.
And you've got Roosevelt, who's good. I mean, these are great programs all across the board. They're going to play 10 solid games.
It's going to be a great schedule for Centennial. Again, so it's going to be Mater Dei, Orange Lutheran, Long Beach Poly, Cathedral Catholic and Liberty from Nevada. And Centennial already has a history with Olu, and they have a history with Long Beach Poly. They had some great battles with Long Beach Poly, and now that's just the non-league schedule. That's not even going into Big 8 league play. That's not talking about playoffs. That's just their non-league schedule. So it's going to be a great schedule for Centennial. They've had schedules similar to in the past, and you look at it for any mortal team, you think, oh man, they'll be lucky to win one or two of those. But for Centennial, they usually go 4-1, 5-0. They do pretty well. But that Mater Dei game right out of the gate is going to be huge.
Yeah, and it will. We're going to see. The young guys are going to step up, and that's always great. In the first game of the year, you can knock somebody off really quickly and kind of get that confidence going as you roll into non-conference, roll into conference. And I'll tell you what, if you beat Mater Dei in the first game and you end up seeing them again in the playoffs, they're always going to know in the back of their head that Centennial got them. So you got to get on them early. It'd be a great win.
And ironically, the last team that Centennial played was Mater Dei. Remember, they lost to Mater Dei in the CIF Southern Section Division I semifinals, and now the next team they're going to see is the Monarchs, Mater Dei, once again. All right, how about a little wrestling?
I love wrestling. Wait, Hulk Hogan, Jimmy the Fly Snuka, what was the George the Animal Steel, those kind of guys?
Those kind of guys. No, not those other guys.
Like real wrestling, singlets.
We're talking Riverside Poly against Heritage. In fact, I'm going to dig it up right now on Twitter so I make this right. Coach Phillips, who's one of our favorites, he's a football coach at Heritage High School. The Hog.
Coach Hog.
Also way deep in the wrestling game, right?
He is the head coach.
Is he the head coach?
He is the head coach. I've talked to him on the phone a couple times. He's the head coach.
I didn't know he was the head coach.
Oh, man, he's the man in charge over there at Heritage, just down the road. I could throw a rock from my backyard and almost hit Heritage. I got a solid arm.
You got a good arm.
I got a great arm.
Let's see. I'm trying to find where he put the names because I did ask him for the names of these wrestlers, so he hit us up on Twitter, and we encourage everyone else out there as well because we simply can't be everywhere at every game.
No.
So Heritage had a big wrestling match against Riverside Poly, and the two heavyweights. We love the heavyweights, right? That's where it's what it's all
I
about.
wrestle in.
The two heavyweights went head to head, and apparently they both had mustaches.
Wait! High school kids with mustaches?
Oh yeah.
I'm around high school kids all the time. I don't see any mustaches. These guys must be like grown men. They're heavyweights.
They're heavyweights. They grow faster.
Yeah.
So Adrian Lepro from Heritage and Mario Miranda from Riverside Poly went head-to-head. Apparently, they both have mustaches in the heavyweight division, and Adrian Lepro won. So Mario Miranda, let's see. I think it is. Let's see. Well, it looks like one of them, he's got a Riverside Poly shirt on. In fact, let's see if I can just play it right now. And you can see for yourself him actually shaving, living up to what they had promised.
We're going to watch a high school kid shave his mustache. He's going to need just the tweezers. A very, very slight mustache.
This is what this show has come to, Geoff. Is
a slight a kid who's probably never shaved in his life. He's going to hurt his upper lip.
Right, here he goes. So and I think there's even some audio to go along with it if we can listen in a little bit.
You won fair and square, and the bet was if you won and I lost, I shaved my mustache, so here it is.
So there he goes. He's shaving.
Oh. We're watching a kid shave. He's not the Dollar Shave Club either. That's a really cheap razor gear, buddy. I'm going to send him a new razor. That's going to hurt. He's going to nick himself. Because he really hates to shave us. Now he looks like Charlie Chaplin. He's not doing it correctly.
Well, I think Adrian is from Heritage, but he has a Poly shirt on. If I'm reading Coach Phillips' tweets correctly.
Doesn't he look like Charlie Chaplin right now?
No.
Yeah, look at it. He's got a Charlie Chaplin.
No, he doesn't.
He did.
So that's what's going on in the local high school wrestling scene, and that was just for you, Geoff.
Thank you. You know what?
You're a wrestling guy.
That was the best, man. I love watching guys shave their mustache. Their 16-year-old mustaches look like peach fuzz.
That's what it's come to. All right. When we come back on the show, we are going to talk more about UCR basketball.
Yes, let's talk about those guys.
It was a long trip up here, but it's well worth it. We're going for back-to-back wins in Big West Conference play.
We're going to sweep the rest of the league. We're going to go undefeated. We're going to win the Big West, and you and I are going to be calling games at the Big Dance.
Oh, we're going to go to the NCAA tournament?
I've already booking our flights wherever we're going to go. We're going to be staying in Stockton. style.
That'd be a lot of fun,
oh,
right?
yeah, we're gonna sweep. We're gonna take over this Big West Conference.
We'll be the Loyola. Remember Loyola of Chicago was the Cinderella, the darling of the big dance last year.
What was the name of the sister?
Sister Jean.
Sister Jean. We got to find a Sister Jean. I know it's not a private school.
You could be this year's Sister Jean.
Yeah.
People would fall in love with Geoff Gorham.
Oh, yeah. That's exactly what I want.
America's sweetheart, Geoff Gorham.
Oh, yeah. That's exactly what people – yeah, I'm the sweetheart of everything. Yeah, I think, honestly, the Highlanders are going to sweep, and they're going to go undefeated the rest of the way. I'm calling it right now.
We're going to take a look at the matchup. We're also going to hear from some of the guys and head coach David Patrick following their first conference win of the season against Hawaii this past Saturday at the SRC Arena. We'll be back on the Inland Sports TV show.
Sister Jean. You were on in the background. Did you see you? It was you and you and you and you. Did you see yourself? You didn't?
No, I did not.
You were in the background talking. You were talking with your hands.
On the TV?
On the TV right behind us.
On the old TV.
Hey, look at that. We did that game. That was good. I know. You're struggling over there. Your fingers are all over the place. You're like a pianist.
The Inland Sports Show is brought to you by Spoiled. Quick, quality oil change. Spoil yourself and your car at Spoiled. Kin Sporting Goods. They have all of your sporting gear needs, Letterman's jackets, and team uniforms. Catalano Motors in Corona off of Temescal Canyon Road. You're going to save thousands of dollars at Catalano Motors. And Boost Performance Training with Coach Ray Bass. Athletes of all levels and all sports are going to Boost Performance Training in Corona.
We're a small family-owned, strive for quality pre-owned vehicles. We're not a volume shop us. You're more than us. We have, like I said, great rates, competitive financing, a lot of one-owner, clean Carfax, clean title vehicles. As you see, we have Carfax everywhere. That's most important to us, to educate our customers before they make a purchase. We're right off of Ontario, right off a couple exits off the 15 freeway, off Cajelco, off El Cerrito, and we're right on the main drag going into Dos Logos and the crossings. We have great financing, we have great lenders that we're using. We do buy, sell, trade, cash for your car, whatever we need to do to help accommodate the customer, that's what we're here for. We have a little bit of everything. We start at about $69.95 and go all the way up to $100,000. We have Escalades, we have commuters, we have pickup trucks, we have Jeeps, sport utilities, and if we don't have it, our specialty is finding you exactly what you're looking for.
Thank God, first of all. I thank the great people that I've got around me that help support me, the people that work for me. As I started, if it wasn't for the people around me, we probably wouldn't be here right now, but I've got a great staff. I've got great people that do stuff for us outside the store, and we've been very, very fortunate. Our service is impeccable, and we just keep trying to get better every year. We can do online stuff for your teams, as well as, like I said, the screen printing, the embroidery. We also have 3 women that do extra sewing for us, like tackle tool on uniforms, or the bling or rhinestones for different shirts for the ladies. That's why we have certain racks just for certain schools, and the fun about that is that it turns into other schools that may come in here that aren't as close, that we can do stuff for them as well. We've had very good customers throughout the years, and it's just been a blast.
And welcome back to the Inland Sports TV show. We are live in San Luis Obispo tonight. Again, not our normal place, not our normal time. We're usually Tuesdays 3 o'clock in our TV studio at Val Verde TV 16. But Geoff, we're on the road with UCR basketball with a Wednesday night game on the road at Cal Poly San Luis Obispo. So we headed up a night early. And it was a long bus ride. It was an eventful bus ride. I mean, it shook you right out of your sleep.
Hey, man, I'll tell you, we had the worst bus driver. I know he's probably not listening. He is the absolute worst. I was in a dead sleep, and I'm a big guy. I'm 6'8". I'm on this tiny, crushed in this bus, and the dang bus driver put on the brakes, and I thought I fell off a building. I was having a great dream. I woke up and didn't know who I was, where I was. I looked over. You were next to me, and you were giggling. It was, yeah, the guy was, I mean, it's like he was driving a Fiat.
Well, there was an accident.
It's not a Fiat. It's a bus.
There was an accident on the road, and you didn't see it, but there was a truck upside down.
Yeah, I was
on my side of the bus, not on your side, on my side of the bus. So he had to slam his brakes because everyone was slamming their brakes. But yeah, you were it shook you awake.
Yeah,
it was like an earthquake.
Yeah,
you didn't know what was going on.
I was ready to go up there and yell at him. I was going to give him a good solid yelling because he did it like 3 or 4 times. And then we're driving around town. It was like he was driving a Mini Cooper,
like my car.
Yeah, it was like a toboggan. He was like driving the Matterhorn toboggan, and it was a giant bus. And he put all of our lives in danger. In fact, I'm going to see if we can get another bus driver on the way home tomorrow night.
You could drive home.
Well, he's going to drive us home at we're going to be on the road until like 1:30 in the morning tomorrow night. I don't trust him. He's shifty. I'm going to sit right behind him, and if he starts to fall asleep,
I'm going to stay awake the whole time.
I'm going to flick him in the back of his head anytime he tries to nod off. I want to make sure we're driving. I'll take over.
You keep us safe, Geoff.
I'm going to keep us safe. That was
you're the guy that can't sleep next to the door.
No. No, but I'm tough. Tougher than him. He was only this tall. He's like literally maybe 4'10".
Little guy.
I got him by about 1.5 feet. I'm good.
Let's talk some UCR basketball.
Let's do this.
Big game against Cal Poly as they try to string together a couple wins. UCR beat Hawaii on Saturday inside the SRC Arena, where I like to say they're nearly unbeatable. Then they go on the road, and Geoff, that's been a different story this all season long for the Highlanders.
Yeah, they're 0-10 on the road, and I'll tell you what, they've had some close games on. It seems like every game we've been to, they've been in it for one point or another, a half or 3/4 of the game. But it's just tough when you start 3 freshmen, and those are 3 quality freshmen. Zach Watson, Dragon Elkaz, and Cal McRae. Those 3 guys, they're starting 3 freshmen, and they've had very good victories. Remember, they beat Loyola Marymount, who was preseason or was ranked in the mid majors for a long time here in the top 25. They beat Pepperdine, and then the great win last week against Hawaii was phenomenal, and it was based on those 3 freshmen. They played great basketball.
It was a big win against Hawaii. The freshmen really chipped in. Now, how do you keep this going and get your first road win of the season period? Because, again, we talk about that Elon game, which was a tournament at the University of Pacific. You kind of throw that one out because that was a neutral site.
Yeah, just because you never heard of Elon either. So, I mean, yeah, that doesn't. I don't even want to count that as a game, really.
Where are they from?
Yeah,
you did the game.
Yeah, I forgot. My notes are
Carolina?
Long.
No.
Yeah, North Carolina.
North Carolina.
Tobacco Road.
South Carolina. That's what I said.
Just further down Tobacco Road, really far down.
So throw out that Elon game because that was a neutral site, and they're still searching for their first true big road victory of the season. The first road victory really for David Patrick as well. All these firsts for Coach Patrick as we go along. First conference win, maybe first road win come Wednesday night.
And I'll tell you what, they have a very good shot, I think, of winning this ball game because the emergence of Callum McRae has been so strong. I mean, if he can play like he has the last 2 games, where I think he's only missed 1 field goal in those last 2 games, he's been dominant. Cal Poly doesn't have the inside presence that can stop a guy like him. If you can go inside, establish an inside game, then Dragon Elkaz, Dikembe Martin, Zach Watson, those guys will be able to open up. And I'll tell you what, this could be a very, very winnable game, and it could be a game that they can win not just by a couple points. It could be a sizable victory for the Highlanders.
Dragon Hillcrest coming off a career-high 25 points. UCR, the best three-point shooting team in the Big West Conference. And, again, that magic number is 10. If David Patrick says if the team can hit 10 three-pointers, he feels like at the end of the day, when all the dust settles, that UCR is going to come out victorious.
And we've talked about Dragon Hillcrest, the young player out of Australia. But remember, Johnny Kennedy at Rancho Verde High School is leading the conference in three-point percentage. He has been great the last 10 games. In fact, you talk about the guys that have stepped up. He has been the one guy that you look at and you go, he could be a superstar in this conference. He's only a sophomore. The future's bright for this Highlanders team. There's guys that are sitting out. There's guys that Coach Patrick has got verbal commitments from that are really going to bring the level of this program at the top of the Big West. In fact, I would venture to say next year they're going to vie for a Big West championship.
So it's Cal Poly tomorrow night, coming on the heels of that big win against Hawaii. We had a chance to hear a little bit from head coach David Patrick, as well as Dragon Hillcrest coming off that career night. And, of course, the poster boy really for the UCR program the last couple of years, Dikembe Martin, who has been Mr. Consistent for UCR. So here's the guys after that big win against Hawaii.
Sports.
Definitely. Other than the defense, I'd like everything else to carry over. I think the guys are growing up every game, and even though we've had some setbacks and losses, we've got better. And I can tell as a coach, individually getting better. It's hard when you're a new coach, new system, trying to find your role, just to turn it on like that. And so, other than the Northridge game, it's going to be hard to win it at Fullerton. It's going to be hard to win at Santa Barbara, but these guys fought and then came back to practice in the days we lost and kept working. And so when you work, good things will happen for you. So I'm just so proud of not just these two here, but everybody of the team that stepped up and got the win tonight against a really, really good team.
Just communication, shoot around. Like everyone was locked in shoot around, especially talking through the scout. Yeah, and just like making sure that every shot is like a game shot for me. So when it comes to game time, it's nothing new. It's what I practiced.
Do you like being in those moments, like knowing 5 minutes left in the game, it's a close game, and you're pulling up for a three? You like those moments?
Of course, who doesn't like those moments?
So you hit 7 threes. Can you think of a game where you shot better than what you shot tonight, like at any level, anywhere?
We haven't played blue versus gold. Yeah, we played blue versus gold. I had 9 threes, but didn't really mean anything. So this is more important for me. Yeah.
But he's done it before. I saw you in the World Championships in Zaragoza against Serbia or Bosnia? Against Bosnia, and they were the underdog, and he came out and hit 6 threes in that game and won the game for Australia. So he's done it in big moments before, and I said that to you guys earlier. So he's also missed shots, but the good thing about shooters, they keep shooting, and if you don't have confidence, you'll stop shooting. But the good thing about these two guys is make or miss, they're going to keep firing up as long as they're good shots. And so great job by both of them.
Yeah, we're really excited. I feel like it was a huge momentum switch for us today, and we're just going to keep working in practice and get ready for the next game. But overall, we know we were right there for the past 3 games. I mean, we've been up at halftime, and we've been right there, so it was just really focusing and grinding out this win.
Sports.
All right, so that was UCR after the big win against Hawaii, their first conference win of the season, first conference win for head coach David Patrick. And now, again, trying to get another first, trying to get their first road win of the season period against a Cal Poly team who's kind of struggled out of the gate, Geoff, but it's always kind of dangerous to play up here. I mean, UC Santa Barbara even had a tough time with Cal Poly.
Yeah, and Cal Poly does have some players. I mean, they've got Donovan Fields, who's just a phenomenal guard. It seems like every guard in the Big West Conference is about 5'7".
I should have played in the Big West.
Lightning quick and can score in droves. In fact, they have another player who's pretty good as Crow is another outstanding player for them. But this is a winnable game for the Highlanders, and I hope they come ready to play tomorrow.
All right, when we come back, we're going to wrap things up here live from San Luis Obispo. It's the Inland Sports TV show.
The Inland Sports Show is brought to you by Spoiled. Quick, quality oil change. Spoil yourself and your car at Spoiled. Sporting Goods. They have all of your sporting gear needs, Letterman's jackets, and team uniforms. Catalano Motors in Corona off of Temescal Canyon Road. You're going to save thousands of dollars at Catalano Motors. And Boost Performance Training with Coach Ray Bass. Athletes of all levels and all sports are going to Boost Performance Training in Corona.
Getting it done and driving out. We just greet them, get them going, and they're done in about 10 minutes or so. We don't push any sales on them. We do the oil change, and I think that's what sets us apart is our customer service. Vacuumed and cleaned your windshield for you as well. Everything's looking pretty good. You come into us one time, believe me, we'll spoil you and you'll be ready to come back the next time.
And welcome back to the Inland Sports TV show, wrapping things up here live in San Luis Obispo. So if you're staying up around at Cal, back a lot of football, a lot of big high school basketball games going on this night. Not only tonight, but I should say Wednesday night as well. That Hillcrest Patriot game, and again UCR are playing Wednesday night against Cal Poly, going for back-to-back Big West Conference wins. And we also got to highlight Cal Baptist. They've got a big game coming up against Cal State Bakersfield in WAC play come Thursday night. And Jeff, I know you call me like a Bakersfield homer over here because I was there, well, 8 glorious years to be exact.
So you were part of like 7 people that lived in Bakersfield.
There's like 300,000
Oh,
plus.
stop it.
It is
Stop
a
it.
blossoming metropolis.
I believe that both teams have this identical records in the WAC conference right now, so that will determine who is on top of that there.
Well, CSUB, Cal State Bakersfield, is a team that's made the NCAA tournament before, just a couple of years ago.
2 years ago.
So they've enjoyed a little bit of success, and kind of like UC Riverside, they had to make that transition from Division II to Division I. It took a while to kind of find their footing, but they've had some success. Now, for Cal Baptist at least, the WAC, we've seen a lot of WAC schools. The WAC is a tough conference for basketball. There's a lot of good teams. You throw in Bakersfield, who's been a tournament team. We saw New Mexico State, who the Lancers already beat. Grand Canyon University will be coming into town. There's some good basketball.
Yeah, and I saw Utah Valley play
That's
live.
right.
I saw Seattle University, all quality programs. In fact, all beat Big West schools the last 2 years. Yeah, the WAC is tough. I mean, it's the tough thing for California Baptists is they're not going to get a chance to participate in the big dance. If they go out and they win this thing, I think that there needs to be an addendum that the NCAA can come in and say, look, maybe next year if Cal Baptist continues to this seamless transition to Division I, they should get an opportunity to play in the big dance.
Well, it should be interesting for CBU going forward. Again, they already look like one of the better, or if not the best team in the WAC. So it'll be a big week now with Cal State Bakersfield coming to town Thursday night, and then Grand Canyon University coming on Saturday. Again, kind of like the Big West, the WAC on any given night, you just never know what's going to happen. But the early barometer test shows that CBU is one of the better teams in the WAC, and this will be a very telling week for the Lancers.
Yeah, I mean, they've got a great guard in Aqua, and I'll tell you what, if he's on the floor, I put them against anybody, but he's got to be on the floor. He is that good of a player. But they are, they're above 500. They've been great on the road, and their home crowd is phenomenal. Anybody needs to go out and check out these games. It'll be a great one this Thursday night against your hometown, Cal State.
Hey, you better watch out for those road runners. Those road runners are road warriors. They're ready to go.
They're going to get lanced, my friend. They're going to get lanced. That's that thing. The guy, isn't that what that thing is? It's a big lance. Yeah,
like a joust.
It's like a joust. They're going to get lanced.
Big week of basketball all the way around. We got CBU, a couple of big WAC games. We got UCR on the road here with Cal Poly. And again, if you're just joining us, Rancho Verde, huge win against Riverside Poly tonight. Kind of a shocker, 60-36. And the big game Wednesday night will be Hillcrest and Patriot. And those interviews with Hillcrest and Rancho Verde that we had in the show, you can go back and find those by themselves on the Inland Sports YouTube channel. If you haven't already, make sure you go and hit that subscribe button for us. We'd really appreciate it, and that's where we load all of our content that you find on the show and a lot of other stuff we do. We just throw it up there so everyone can go and find it.
Yes, they can.
All right, let's wrap things up. Geoff says he's going to buy me an ice cream, so
I'm going to go buy you a Haagen-Dazs out of the lobby, and then we're going to be on tomorrow night before the game.
Yes, that's right. So check back on the Inland Sports Twitter feed and Inland Sports YouTube. We do our little pregame show live courtside, so we'll have that as well as we get you all set for Cal Poly and UC Riverside. And Geoff, the last time you tried to buy me ice cream, they were like $10 each. Wasn't it like $10 each?
It was $10 for an ice cream bar, but you know what, Pep?
Steep, real steep.
I'm going to splurge for you, my friend.
Wow.
I'm going to splurge.
After your near-death experience on the bus.
Yes.
A whole new outlook on life, right?
I'm going to buy you
the ice cream.
I'm going to buy you some ice cream.
All right, for Geoff Gorham, I'm Pep Fernandez, and we'll see you tomorrow night courtside at Mott Gym for UCR and Cal Poly.